When trees fell in a local neighborhood, it was the neighbors who decided to make a sound. Efforts are now underway in the small town of Durham to keep homes safe from the trees.
But city officials disagree with the methods proposed by the community. Fox 12's Carly Olson spoke with some of the neighbors impacted today and has more for us. Carly?
Well, Nora and Riel, it's really hard to forget the story of the two young girls who were playing in an upstairs bedroom during the January 2024 ice storm when one of these tall trees fell through the roof. And now the parents of those girls have joined with other neighbors to try to amend the city's tree code so they never have to go through the trauma of that day again.
We wanted to get new trees in and kind of some nice plants.
Among the neat rows of tulips and scampering squirrels.
A more serene area.
A specific intention.
Wanted to kind of plant something very pretty since, this represented sort of, a pretty hard day for our family.
That day was January 13th, 2024.
We saw Lucy and Harlow were playing in Harlow's bedroom, which is that window there. We just saw that tree start going and falling.
The tree fell directly from J.R. Tarabakia's backyard into the room where he'd just seen his daughter Lucy and her friend. We spoke with then 10-year-old Lucy.
It felt like an earthquake in a house.
After her miraculous survival. And today,
it took a long time to kind of get to, an okay place.
I think the girls had guardian angels that day. My daughter was very close to being hit by a tree and very close to being killed by a tree.
The traumatic close call caused Tarabakia and Harlow's mom, Tonya, to join some of their impacted neighbors.
So there were 5 trees that fell in this area over the course of 14 months.
And tackle the troublesome trunks. Currently, in order to remove trees in Durham, you need to foot the hefty bill for an arborist's report and a soil sample.
It was in the thousands of dollars to do that, and we were like, well, that seems unreasonable.
City Council put together a tree commission with the neighbors' help to present a new code, which would instead require trees to meet certain criteria that are visible to the naked eye. This would make quick and more affordable removals possible, but City Administrator Jordan Parente wants to uphold previous requirements. When asked about the issue, he told us in part, citizen feedback is an important part of the public process. The city has a long history of encouraging such feedback. Council is the ultimate decision maker on this matter. They're holding a work session to discuss the code with City Council, and these neighbors say they'd rather move away than see their families' lives become collateral damage.
We don't want to have our houses destroyed and, our families, put at risk.
We need to do something about this and not just hope that it doesn't happen to anyone else again, because it's going to.
The neighbors that we spoke to had to spend a combined $60,000 on home repairs and tree removals. They had to pay that amount out of pocket following the January 2024 ice storm. And now the city of Durham is going to be hosting that work session to discuss this issue next Tuesday at 6 p.m. Members of the public are invited to attend either in person or online. Reporting live in Durham, Carly Olson, Fox 12 Oregon.